I grew up in Fort Myers, Florida, so a little bit like almost to the Everglades, pretty southwest Florida. My parents were in the military, so before that, I was born in Germany, and we moved when I was still a baby back to the U.S. And then my parents retired, so spent kindergarten through 12th grade in Fort Myers, Florida. I joined AmeriCorps after graduation. So I went to college in Georgia and wasn't quite sure. I was debating between being a teacher or a lawyer. So I joined City Year and volunteered for a year in DC Public Schools as a teacher's aide, sort of a after school program supervisor. I don't know. We did a lot of different, it's like a mentorship kind of program. So they put teams of young adults into schools to work with the kids in DC public schools. So I did that for a year and then just never left. My name is Ryan.
And your kids' names?
Leo is 4, and Marjorie or Margie, we call her Margie B, all kinds of things. She just turned 1. I teach for DC Public Schools. I literally never left. Special education teacher for kids who have autism in a pre-K classroom. So DC actually does their early intervention through the school system starting at age 3. So I have 3 and 4-year-olds who have an autism diagnosis, and I'm at Garfield Elementary. We joined Kingstowne or started attending Kingstowne Christmas of not this past Christmas, but Christmas, right, the Christmas before the pandemic when things were still normal. We came to the children's service and Leo got to be a lamb. He was very excited, or sheep or something like that. So we started attending right before things shut down in March, and then we actually joined as members and baptized Margie in August of this past year. Both of us have roots in the Methodist Church. Ryan grew up Methodist, and we had not really found a church home that had a real children's ministry, to be honest. And so we were drawn to a congregation that was going to be welcoming to Leo. I was pregnant at the time, and we were like, listen, this is how we want to raise our kids. And so, that, and to be honest, like Christmas Eve, we had 85,000 other things to do, and Kingstowne service wasn't on Christmas Eve. I think it was like Wednesday before Christmas, but it was a nice way for us to celebrate as a family in a child-friendly way, and not worry about Leo literally making animal noises.
So being a teacher and having a baby during the pandemic is either one of those by themselves is difficult, but doing it together, what do you think is kind of the one big thing that you learned from this experience?
I think I just had to be really intentional about staying connected with people, remembering to reach out, and then, not being afraid to say like, hey, I'm, feel like I need a little bit of help here. It can be really lonely to have a baby. And then also, like, teachers are very much the people. I miss being around people all day. I'm still teaching online, which is different, but making it. So I'm like trying to be really intentional about building relationships with students, even though we're, still video chatting with each other. And same thing with church and family. And my family like meets every other week for a family Zoom call with my uncles and my mom and dad. And like, we weren't doing that before the pandemic. And those are the kinds of things that I hope we continue to do. So that's been helpful.
Well, thank you so much, Claire, for giving us a little insight into who Claire Battle is.
You're welcome.
We super appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you in person hopefully soon.
Yep.
Awesome.